Muy buenos días.
Hello, good morning. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me here today. This third Agora Talentia and its fostering talent is an excellent idea. We are going through difficult situations that require innovative solutions and placing value on talent. That is why I thank all the organizations, companies that have made this conference possible. Yesterday, we heard speakers, expert speakers, Echenique, De Quirol, Pimentel, and other representatives from the Blame Flow project. Throughout my presentation today, I'm going to refer to some of the ideas that stood out yesterday. I'm not an expert, but something drew my attention about talents, and that is the business and economic aspect. I'm referring to the fact that when we address these topics, we use a language which we shouldn't use. Let us focus on the case of talents, which is the one that concerns us today. There was a report at the end of the 90s published by McKinsey, which coined the war for talent. With that expression, they referred to an increasing competition between companies to employ the most talented employees and retain them, although it is true that we didn't really understand then what was meant by talent. Whatever the definition, a similar phenomenon to that appeared in McKinsey can be seen today. Many countries have made these policies a battlefield, a global war for talent, or brain drain. Indeed, from articles that I've read recently, the fight to retain or gain talent is becoming worse. In the UK, Australia, New Zealand, all offer possibilities to have special visas called visas for exceptional talent. The EU also has the Blue Card project to bring talented people. Other countries such as Canada, Singapore, Chile include in their immigration policies measures to facilitate the entry of talented people and entrepreneurs. And Spain is going to do this with the new Entrepreneurial Act. To a certain extent, this is understandable. The world we live in is more and more competitive, and innovation and differentiation are essential to prosper. The change, not just in technology, has accelerated at a dizzy rate. In short, there are many challenges and demands, and talent is necessary to cope with them. But I believe the words do not just describe what we can see and what is around us, but it has the power to influence us too. And there is no doubt that discovering talent in a conceptual framework of war and fighting is not appropriate. Related to the competitiveness of the nations, for a long time, the competitiveness of an economy was referred to the results of its foreign trade. And in that sense, the commercial balance of a country is important, or its market share, or other similar variables. Those indicators are, of course, important, but limiting ourselves just to look at them is wrong. Some win and some lose. The idea is behind many protectionist policies that are an attempt to increase own exports at expense of the others, policies that try to enrich the country by impoverishing the others. And history shows how harmful a scaling up of these policies can result in. So much so that we're not a zero sum, but negative sum, where a lot are losing. There is also a more modern concept, a more dynamic concept of competitiveness of an economy, one that is based on internal conditions to generate growth and prosperity. In agreement with this approach, the exchanges with other nations become a formula so that everyone can win. We could say that those who play a leading role are not the zero sum, but more cooperative games. With this dichotomy, I get the impression that with talent, something similar occurs. On many occasions, we resort to terms such as attract, retain, steal, drain. The question is like a fierce competition where the winner takes all. And this approach is wrong, in my opinion, especially referring to talent. I am not against competition. On the contrary, I am convinced that competition is very healthy. It is the best filter for good ideas and initiatives for the future. And it is also the mechanism that nourishes the best through innovation and efficiency. But the competition that I believe in is healthy, creative, and encourages the participants to do more, like the European Cup of Talent, which is organized for this conference. You don't have to just fight for a scarce resource. Talent is much more than a scarce resource. We've all got talent to be able to contribute to the progress and welfare of our societies. Talent is not unique or homogeneous. It has many different forms. The true challenge consists in creating a culture to be able to make this talent grow and also be able to detect them and orientate them to make the most of them. It is not an easy task. We're talking about educating, training the youngest ones today for a future labor market, one that we don't really know what is going to happen. We don't know what jobs are going to be in most demand because we don't know if they will still exist. Yesterday, several of the speakers said that those who teach, educate, should learn as well. We're talking about a scientific system as a basis for innovation and growth. And we also talked about companies, Everest for example, that foster talent connected to a globalized world. To respond to this challenge, the key lies in cooperation. As suggested by this forum, we must foster the idea of social and networking talent. Ana Izquierdo summed it up well yesterday, saying that not everybody knows everything, and so we have to share. Knowledge and innovation, or know-how innovation, are activities that are carried out in a network. Knowing, as Ruiz de Querol said, that creativity doesn't just depend on technology. We have to take advantage of all the opportunities offered to us by the connectivity of the ICTs. This talent come out of that environment. Thus, the idea of these different sessions today, sharing international experiences, appears to me to be a very good idea. We can all learn from each other. We have a lot to win by way of cooperation, collaborating between regions that support the Brainflow project. This is the battle for talent, the one that each society must fight with itself and not with others, to try to mobilize the talent of its members. Insofar as we can do this, we will be able to overcome these difficult times. and become competitive, to construct, to build a model that generates prosperity. Let us do this with optimism that Pedro Miguel Echenique referred to yesterday, and characterize this scientist as someone who seeks solutions. I want to finish by thanking you for your attention. Please forgive me, but I won't be able to continue with you today. But I do hope that the morning session will be fruitful for all of you. Thank you very much.